Hi everyone, let's talk makeup. And today I have a review of the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot All Liquid to Powder Foundation. And I'm also going to do a demo. So first off, let me tell you some of their claims here. So they claim that it is, they have shine block. So great for those of us with oily skin. It says it's a 12-hour long wear technology and super blur powders. So these were all things that really interest me. I have tested it out during my super long 14-hour days, so I can tell you if the 12 hours is true or not. Although, yay, I'm finally done with my super long days, at least for a little while. Okay, so on the back it claims to control shine for 12 hours, deliver flawless full coverage, no cakiness, blur away the appearance of pores and imperfections. It says directions to use after moisturizing, use your fingers or a brush to dab a few blots. And use the foundation, put it down the center of your forehead, nose, and chin, blend centrally, and then rub any excess outward onto your cheeks for flawless, absolutely flawless skin. Alright, so that's what they claim. Let me show you the application first, the demo, and I'll come back and give you the full review afterwards. Hi everyone, so let's try this foundation out. So I do have some primer on. I have the Spackle Under Makeup Primer from Laura Geller. And so now what I'm going to do is it has a nice pump. Pump that into my hand. I usually need about one and a tad bit more. And this foundation dries pretty quickly. So let me show you how I put it on. So I dot it in one area. And then I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Beauty Sponge. And then I spread it with a beauty blender. And do the other side. And it is blending very nicely. Using the beauty blender avoids kind of the cakiness that I might be prone to. So as you can see, it is lighter than my skin tone. So I will have to go in with a little bit powder foundation so that I can match it up to my skin tone a little bit better. But that is it. You can see that it does have a nice smooth finish. It is a matte finish. But if you use the beauty sponge, you can avoid kind of the cakiness that it's prone to. And yeah, what do you think? Anyways, I'll be back with the full review in a minute. Okay, so I'm back, full face as you saw earlier. I have put on blush, contour, let's see what else. I think that's it. I didn't want to put in any powder foundation on top or any setting sprays so that it would not mess with the finish and look of the foundation so you could see. So as you saw in the demo, I do think it tends to dry very quickly on me. So one of the first times that I applied it, I just do what I normally, dot it all over my face and then spread it out. And I found that that did not really work very well for me. By the time I got to my forehead, which is usually the last part of my face where I blend the foundation in, it was harder to blend out. So what I have done since then is just do one part of my face at a time. So that is something to note. But I do get a very nice matte finish. It says that it's full coverage. I would say it's a medium-high coverage. It is hiding out a lot of my scarring, but not all of it. So it's not going to be quite as full coverage as the Estee Lauder or the Kat Von D Double Wear. Those to me are the most full coverage foundations I own, and this is just a hair below that. It's almost there, but not quite. The consistency of it, as you saw in the demo, it's not watery. It's denser, but not as dense as the 2 foundations I just mentioned. So it does make it a little bit easier to blend out as you're blending out with a beauty blender. And I do prefer using a beauty blender. I use the Fenty Beauty beauty sponge in the demo, but I've used any number of the Real Techniques. I've used the Morphe brushes, beauty sponge. All of those would work, and I do prefer with the beauty blender, because with a brush, what I feel is I tend to get a more of a cakey look. So that might also be why I am calling it just a hair below full coverage. Beauty blender does sometimes helps thin out a foundation, or thin out the application of it. But with the brush, I still felt like I wasn't getting quite full coverage. On the other hand, it was easier to for my foundation to look cakey. There's something to note there. In terms of shine control, yes, this foundation will control the shine. The oils in my face will not peek through for 12 hours. Hell, it will not peek through for 16 hours, which when I tested out that long for one day. So it is very good that way. So it is very long wearing. This has been one of the most long wearing foundations that I've been testing out lately. Super blur powders. It does blur imperfections. It doesn't completely hide them, but it does blur them. So in pores, nothing's gonna completely hide your pores, I feel like. But yeah, this does a really good job of making you look mattified and provide very good coverage. So all in all, I do really like this foundation. My one big problem with this foundation, because everything so far sounds good, right, is that the shade range is like the worst. I thought that they had at least a handful of shades, but it turns out when I go online right now that the color that I have, caramel, is the darkest color, and it's not quite even dark enough for me. I thought this worked in this lighting. This foundation seems to match. It kind of works, but so I started wearing it like this a few weeks ago, and then I went into my bathroom, and in the lighting there, I could tell that my face was lighter than my neck and the rest of my body. Fortunately, I found a really quick solution to that, and that was to apply a little bit of powder foundation. This is my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten foundation in the color Tan. They also have a shitty range of foundations colors, but this one's just a bit darker for me most of the time. But I can go in with and apply just a light dusting of it all over my face, and it works as a kind of setting powder that adds color. It doesn't add like a coverage, but it adds color and helps my foundation match the rest of my body. So I will be doing that later today, and this is actually a very good foundation. I like using it as well. It's just the shade range is terrible. So basically, if you are my color or darker, Soap and Glory does not have a foundation color for us, because literally this is not dark enough. So lighter skin people, and even if you're lighter skin, actually this is one of 4 shades that they have. 4 shades. So even if you're lighter, you might not be able to find a color. So Soap and Glory, please get on it. This is a very good foundation for oily skin people, and we like some shades, like more than 4, because there are more than 4 shades of color out there in the world. You'd think that brands would start getting it now, so I really hope that they kind of release a wider range of shades. Sometimes brands like to just do a limited release of shades and then expand. So I'm really hoping that's what happens here, because this is a pretty decent foundation and I like to be able to recommend it to people. But if they're not going to have enough shades for everyone, then it's going to be a no on my recommendation. So hopefully they'll be releasing more. So that is it for me. Let me know if you've tried it and what you think. But I will see you in the next one. Bye.